Like I was trying to work on some other things last night and I just couldn't. I was up to like 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I was like, I can't do that again.
Okay.
Messed up my flow.
Messed up your flow.
Anyways,
all right,
let's go. Let's have some
Everyone
fun.
has a unique gift, and Mike, the creator of the 1NELife podcast, believes most people don't know how to use
you
their
wanna go
gifts
by? I
or
meant to
what
ask
they
you that.
are.
Oh,
Mike
my name
wants you
is
to
so
see things from a
cool
different
and
perspective
powerful.
and be true
There's
to
nothing else I
yourself.
can go
The
by.
1NELife
Just
podcast
Latifah?
unites
Yeah,
the world through
that's
art,
like the coolest
fashion,
name in the
music,
world.
and film.
Yeah,
It
since I was a little
inspires,
girl,
motivates,
No,
and
my
creates
name has been
positive
like a
energy,
cool name to
love,
have.
and compassion to
Right.
all
No, I know,
communities,
but
and
as
creates
far
an
as,
equal
like,
playing field
distinguish
for
me from
all.
someone
On
else?
the 1NELife
No.
podcast, they cover topics like building
like your title.
relationships, overcoming adversity, habits of healthy people, and much, much more. We only have one
think
life
that
to
you already
live.
kinda-
Be
you always
yourself
addressed me
and live
correctly.
your
Okay.
truth.
You say
Add the
actress,
1NELife
singer,
podcast to your playlist.
karaoke
That's the
host,
number one
yeah, all those
Life. Available on Spotify, Amazon
All right,
Music,
she's leaving
Apple
it up to me. That's
Podcasts,
kinda
and your
dangerous.
favorite podcast platform.
I mean, you know.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the 1NELife podcast. I am Mike, M to the I to the C, Reed. And you know what? I love my job. I get to hang out with beautiful women all day and interview them. But I have my co-host, the lovely Latifah, up in the building with us today. The actress, the singer, the karaoke host, the hostess with the mostest. That's kind of old school, huh?
I like it.
The
I
hostess
like
with
it.
the mostest. I need to upgrade my wording.
I like it. I work with it.
And today in the building we got Nicole Cunningham, aka Nickiey, in the building with us. How you doing?
Great. How are
The
you?
artist, the DJ.
Yeah, just doing my thing, making music and painting a live event as much as I can.
I know. So we're gonna get into that. Man, how are you doing today?
I'm doing
You
great.
You was out late last night, huh? She didn't want to talk about that. I meant working, not like hanging out. Like working, like you extended your hours.
That was a sidebar story. We'll talk about that off camera because I don't know. He knows things. He's like talking to me like with little Indian innuendo that I know. Okay.
No, but
Don't-
didn't you host karaoke last night?
Oh yeah, we stayed out to midnight last night at Madrano's.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, cause I thought it was to 10:30.
Well, 10:30 is Friday and Saturday. So when the DJ comes in,
Oh, last night was Thursday.
yeah,
That's right.
I bridge it there.
That's right. You know what? My days are off. I'm thinking yesterday was Friday.
It
My
feels
bad.
like it though.
It did.
It feels like it for sure.
But see, that's why I almost got you in trouble. You're not gonna have fun with this.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, let's get to Nicole. How you doing? How was your day today? It's Friday. It's Veterans Day.
It's great. I went to go visit over at Modern Tea Room, show my support to them. They have their new location opening next
Yeah.
door.
So Listic. I wish I would put this episode out today because I would tell you guys to go to the grand opening because it's from 11 to 5 today. 11 actually. 11 to 5 p.m. today. But this show episode is not going to air till Monday, so you guys are going to miss it. So if you wasn't there, I am so sorry.
You should still go support them.
No, absolutely, 100%. Gabby over at the Modern Tea Room, they got their grand opening of Solistic on the Boulevard. Have you eaten there before? Eaten, I should say.
I haven't gotten the chance to eat there yet, but I love what they're doing and I love their growth.
It's amazing. Have you?
No, actually, I have not.
Oh, then you should go there after
Okay.
the show.
Okay.
I'm no 100%. They
I'm
don't
down with that.
have what she had with her and her team put together. They don't have nothing like that out here. It's pretty amazing. I've been there 3 or 4 times already.
I've seen their promos.
Yeah.
So I'm down to
I'm
go.
actually addicted. I actually got on Gabby one day. I walked in there because both restaurants are now, next door to each other. So now when you go, it's like, where do you go? Modern Tea Room or Solistic?
Both.
Both.
So what should we eat if we go there?
Okay, so they have the bowls, like the acai bowls. I don't know what they're called though.
It's like a fruit bowl.
Well,
You say acai.
so that's because she calls it something different, and I know she's gonna kill me right now because I don't know the proper name of them. But they have the bowls, so you can get like the protein. Like I typically get the chicken as the base. And then not the base, but the chicken for the protein. But the base is the rice and the greens together.
So it's like a natural kind of
Yeah.
veggie. Like,
And then on top of it, you put all your toppings, like all your, like nuts. They have like
you like nuts on your food? I'm so weird about that on my food.
Why?
Like peanuts.
Crunch
Like-
factor.
Like
yeah.
Kung
Thank
Pao.
you, Crunch Factor.
Like Kung Pao chicken. Oh God! Like I feel like it smells so good. It tastes great, but like do not put the peanuts on there.
Oh yeah. So
Like-
they have they have different type of bowls. I just forget the name of them. But then they also have the bowls where it is like the fruit bowls. Mm-hmm. So like I had the oatmeal with the nuts and like the different type of fruits like strawberries and I forget what else I had. Like I had 5 different toppings. I think toppings. Oh my God, something's in my eye. And
I do like nuts though. I'm not gonna lie. Like walnuts are like in my peanut what do you call it? Banana nut bread.
Well, it's all.
I like that little part.
It's all healthy nuts. Yeah, it's like it's not. You don't have an option of like M&Ms
and pecans.
Like it's all healthy stuff. It is great. I mean, the way they put it together is amazing. You got to go. And then their drinks. Obviously, you know their drinks.
No, I've literally never been there.
But you've been to the Modern Tea Room though.
No, neither one. Like I've literally never been there. So after this, I'm going. I'm gonna.
Hold on, you've never been to the Modern Tea Room?
No, literally, nope. I think because I've been doing nights that my days are kind of like recuperating.
Oh, well,
so I can go back.
That makes sense.
Into the night.
So the Modern Tea Room, because the Modern Tea Room, they close like around 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
But Soulistic stays open till I think 7.
Oh, I'm down. You
definitely got to go. You're gonna fall in love.
Bowl,
You're gonna get addicted real fast.
Because I'm like I love the bowls from like a Pollo Loco. So if you can give me like that little thing with little vegetables, little chicken, little rice.
So I have a favorite drink. I'm just pubbing Gabby right now, but she's super cool, so I don't mind.
We love them. So.
My favorite drink at the Modern Tea Room is the gummy bear. So it's a tea called the gummy bear, and it's actual.
Like my 5-year-old.
It's like real gummy bears in them. That's the best part. Yeah.
So you guys, okay, all right. That sounds.
And then they have another drink called the Dirty 30, which I love, but I get it hot. So that's like it's mocha, matcha, and like almond milk and.
I mean, I'm
coffee.
drinking their dirty chai right now.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is that from there?
Yeah, so it's Corvo coffee because I love Corvo. It's another local, from our community, and then they have their tea and they mix it all together.
Yeah, so see, I'm like, where you been?
I like the portions. I like that.
Yeah.
Give me a lot. Like I like a lot. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm all about supporting people who are within our community, and that's what I love about them is everything they have from there sourced from within our community.
Right, that is super great. Oh my God, I'm taking you over there after the show.
Sounds good.
Like 100%. Like we're gonna walk. It's only down the street, so we're gonna walk.
Okay.
And we're going.
Okay, I'm down with it. Because I only had like a little bit of grape juice and water this morning, so yeah, I'm down with it.
God, I can't believe it.
Grape juice, you love grape juice, right?
Diet, right?
Well,
Okay.
anything, orange juice, grape
We're
juice.
gonna move on with the show because I can't believe you've never been to the Modern Tea Room.
They're iconic.
It's all good. Anyways, Nicole Cunningham, aka Nickiey. So tell us a little bit about you because I know you're a live artist, painting. I don't know how you phrase that.
So I'm a local artist. I do live art events. I also have had a couple of pop-up galleries at Modern Tea Room, Trio Coffee House, and a couple other places out here in the community. And it's just kind of like grown and developed while I've lived up here in Lancaster. I'm originally from San Fernando Valley, and art's just been a part of my life, my entire life. Right. And it's slowly just grown and blossomed and became this thing. It's just kind of who I am now.
So let's get into that backstory because I know I've had an opportunity to actually have conversations with you, and I know somewhat about you, especially like your community work. But I want to know the backstory, like what got you into art, and why are you so passionate about it, and why are you so passionate about community?
So when I was younger, my mom instilled art in me, had me sign up with classes, and I didn't really appreciate it as much until about 2016 when my father actually passed away, and I just went into this huge depressive state. And I just started painting and didn't stop painting, and it changed who I was. And through that, I kind of got a lot of messages from like the things he told me as a kid, like, do whatever you do 100%. Like nothing can be halfway done. You got to do it all. And I really just threw myself into art and let it take over who I am.
So that's crazy how, because I was similar as growing up. Like I took art classes, and that's why I'm an artist when I was very young. But I didn't appreciate it like you. I didn't listen to because my grandmother raised me. I didn't really listen to her back then. It's crazy how when we get older, and we go through things, then we start thinking about what our parents taught us or, said to us when we were younger. And now it starts to make sense, like as we were older.
I mean, even my kids watch me do it. You know, they watched this whole evolution and how almost every painting that's in my house, in my personal gallery, is part of a story. And they can tell, like, oh, that's when this happened. That's when you were going through this. And, you know, when you look at like Van Gogh and Degas and all these like older famous artists, a lot of their pieces have a lot of emotion in it.
Right.
And maybe we don't realize it, but they know the story behind each of those pieces, you know?
Interesting. You know, like when I was, we're talking about raising kids, when I would stay in the house like a lot, I found that I would like to revamp my space a lot. So looking at artwork and playing with my kids and bringing out the little, all the accessories from Michael's. So we would like, you know, find little crafts and things like that. Do you like involve your children in the process of making art?
Definitely. So there was a whole series I did recently where I was taking vinyl records from Voodoo Vinyls, actually, and I would turn them into actual paintings on the vinyl, give them a new life. These would be vinyls that were scratched and warped. They were going to be thrown away anyways. And so I let my kids start doing a few. So now we have vinyls that they've done, vinyls that I've done, and I definitely let them be creative, because art is such an outlet. You know, it really is. If you draw what you're feeling and draw what you're going through, all that kind of stuff.
You know, I have a good friend of mine, and she is an amazing artist. She draws, and but she don't do it for a living. It's just for her and her therapy. And I even told her, she's so good. I said, you need to be selling this stuff. She was like, I would never sell it. It's for me and me only.
I mean, I have.
But that's a lot of people like that.
I have pieces that are definitely for me only. But for me, it turned into this thing during COVID where I was like, I need to turn my hobby into a hustle, because it motivated me. And actually, that brings us back to Modern Tea Room. That's where I had one of my first galleries. I was like, let's put all this stuff up there. And I had to have painted 30 pieces during COVID while we were in quarantine, and just threw them out into the world. Let's see what happens. And slowly it's progressed into this live art events and, you know, doing things in the community. And it really grew, which is awesome, you know?
Was you, so when you first did that, did you have any type of adversity that you had to overcome? Was you like scared or?
No, you know, I'm the type of person where like, there is no such thing as fear. I just throw myself into it. And if it doesn't go right, it's okay. It was a lesson. Right. You know, not everything has to go the way you expect, but you can always take something from that experience, whether it worked out or not. Right.
So where'd you get that mindset from? Because a lot of people don't have that. It's like you kind of got to go through things to even learn that.
You know, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. There's been a lot of failures in my life. Not even if it's not myself, maybe other people let me down. And you know, I'm not as old as a lot of other people are. I'm only 33. But in those 33 years, a lot of things have changed my perspective. Enough people have let me down that I've realized I can't blame anyone or myself. I have to just take it as a lesson and move on, you know?
But that's what I mean. Like that mindset, you don't find that in a lot of people. I mean, you typically don't only find that in the people that actually been through a whole lot until like it's their last result. They're like, okay, now I got to change my mindset. Like, and it's a journey to even get that mindset.
I mean, when I'm listening to you, I'm thinking about just embracing the experience. It sounds like what you're saying. Instead of like fighting the tide, you just kind of like, all right.
Definitely. You know, a huge part of it too is being cautious of what you consume. You know the saying, you are what you eat?
Yeah.
So I tell my family, you are what you consume. I'm careful what I listen to, like music, podcasts, different things. What kind of TikToks, what kind of social media I follow, because all those things, they change your mindset.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've seen girls who watch videos about, you know, how everybody's a red flag, you know, stuff like that. And then they look at the world that way. Yeah. You know, you are what you consume.
Exactly.
Interesting.
No, people don't realize that. A lot of people don't realize that. The other stuff that they watch, like, and that's why television and entertainment right now sells a bunch of drama. Everything's drama, right? And that's why reality shows are so huge. But then you got to think about why we have so much drama in the world, because everybody is consuming that. So they want the drama.
Well, like, I guess even last night, I was, I kind of got into a little predicament, and I was just.
Tell us about it.
Oh God. It's a little bit embarrassing because like one of the things that I tried to do to diffuse it was like, hey guys, I'm not as old as you think I am. Like this is beyond my level. And what I realized, the filter that people, what I said and what was taken in was completely different. And I was thinking the whole time, this person must have a different path in life, like their whole thought process. Like I asked, where are you from? And that was supposed to lead into, oh, well, you're from here? You're from Lancaster? You're from Walmdale? Well, great. Do you know that they're having a class over here? You know, it's going to lead to something positive. What they heard was, what set you from?
Right. And that, you know what? Yeah, go ahead.
And that blew my mind because, you know, I expect that from males because I figure like they have to deal with that more frequently. But from a female, that just like.
Oh, wow. So I wasn't even expecting you to say that. It was from a female?
Yeah. And I was just like, wait, hold up. Whoa, where did this go? And then I couldn't diffuse the situation. I tried like all my techniques, like, and so again, when you're listening to things and it's programming your mind, I was thinking this person is programmed in a certain way that, dude, that's all I can think of.
Well, you know, yesterday I was telling you guys earlier that I did a show with a Marine Corps vet. And, you know, because today is Veterans Day, so we did the show last night. And we were just talking about that, how what I love about the armed services is because you get exposed to things. And people like in neighborhoods that like where we grew up, they only know their square block. They don't know nothing outside of that. So it's not surprising, right? Because that's the only thing that they're exposed to.
And that's the only thing that the generations before them were exposed
Exactly.
to. So it's been this generational lesson of how to act, how to think, you know, and now that there's social media and stuff, people have the opportunity to change.
They do.
They do.
But the one thing I was saying yesterday is you have all these resources, right? But resources are out there for people who want them, not for people who need them. We all have options. So unless they want it, because they're there, like you said, you can. Everybody got a phone in their hand. You can watch whatever you want on social media. You're choosing to watch all this negative stuff because there are other stuff you could be watching, like you said.
Okay, but then there's some factor of an algorithm that's really a trip. Like, okay, for example, you might click on something and then now your feed looks like
Right.
that. So that's kind of beyond your control because you really didn't set out to see those elements. But then now you start looking in your timeline. You're like, golly. So you're an artist. Are you seeing a bunch of art coming in your timeline? Are you seeing other opportunities and things like that?
I mean, I had to really like focus on changing my algorithm. Does that make sense? Like I would see something I didn't want and I'd be like, hide this. I don't need to see that. You know, you actually are in control of what you see.
You are. And you know what? I'm going to be real honest with you. Last week, I was scrolling on Instagram and I clicked on this nail fungus thing on accident. And all of a sudden, I'm getting all this nail fungus ads and videos. And I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
Like, but like, it's a mindset. So I knew what Instagram was doing because I know about the algorithms, right? So I immediately start searching for positive things to get my feed back to how I want it. So that is a choice.
Well, it's positive you get your fungus cleared up, though.
I know, but I didn't want to see all those images.
You're like, thank you. Actually, let me order that on CVS. Yeah, I got you. Sponsored by CVS fungus creams that are, no.
Right? But you are in control of it. Again, it's what you want. It's for people who want it.
And so, you know, taking it back, you know, focusing on what you consume, you can definitely manifest growth and development. And I took that and turned that into my art. You know, I took that and really chose to just grow and paint every day and tell the people around me who'd be like, I want to paint, I want to be like you. And I'd be like, practice, practice, practice. Don't stop, you know. I know you saw me at the Rose Gold event.
Right.
I don't know if you saw the little kids that were coming up to me.
No, I did.
They were like, how do you do that? And I would sit down to each and every one of them and be like, practice makes better. Not perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Nobody.
Practice makes better. And I heard these little kids leaving saying that, you know, it's all about growth.
Right. No, it was pretty amazing. I was watching you interact with the two little girls, and that's what I loved about you and what you're doing. I mean, you're inspiring the youth.
Yeah.
I saw that day.
yeah, well, I have kids, and these kids in the community, they're next to my kids. And so if my kids are going to be great, I think they should be around other kids that are great, so that the next generation is going to be, hopefully, a group of kids that are way up here, and we can look at them from down here like, wow. I don't want to be sad about the future.
So do you have any upcoming projects right now that you want to tell us about?
Right now I'm actually focusing on taking a break.
Okay.
I've been really, really working a lot this last summer season and the autumn season. I did a ton of events. And so a part of being an artist, I think that taking a break is also very healthy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. But in January at We Are Artists Community Center, it's called WAC, W-A-C, in Palmdale, where they'll have a blacklight event, which is totally my thing because I paint with neon UV paint. So that'll be the next one, but that's not till January.
Cool. I like that.
So I know, how can I say this? All your events, not all your events, but most of your events you like doing with the black light.
I do, because it's such a show, and I
Right.
love how the paintings change from natural light to black light. So that kind of evolved from being at Resonate, which is the drum and bass shows where I was doing the live art. That's where it really started, doing black light art, and I just fell in love with the concept.
Right, and you do it, like when you say live art, is music involved?
So with Resonate, it's a local group of jungleists and drum and bass DJs out here. And they're always at the American Legion every month. And so while the DJs are mixing, I'm over there painting. There's other artists. We try to bring in as many artists as we can from within the community all the way out towards like Riverside area. And it's a whole vibe,
Right.
Feeling everybody just grooving and painting and doing their thing. It's an awesome feeling.
Right. No, I know. And I don't know who originated that, but I know hip hop used to do that back in the day, where they used to have DJs and artists performing while somebody's on stage painting.
Yeah.
Like
graffiti
graffiti.
artists.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
So I don't know where that originated from, but that is such a whole vibe.
I think I stumbled into one of those things. It was in Chinatown. I think they still do it, like on the weekend, and like they get people like DJing, and like they like take over like a whole area over there. So it's artists, DJs, and you used to listen to live music, and it's just like it's a great experience.
It really is. I mean, for
Do you know
me,
what I'm talking about?
It's almost like meditation. Like
Yeah.
as the artist that's involved in it, I almost lose track of everybody in the room, which is a great feeling, and I think everybody should try it at least once.
What, to lose track of everybody in the room,
And
or
just
paint?
paint.
The paint?
Lose track of everybody in the room, and have like big speakers next to you, all that, the whole feeling. It's awesome.
That's one of the things that I think I've never actually done is painting. Like, I have a graphic background.
Anything can be art.
No, well, I know. But like I've done everything because I have a graphic design background, and that's how I started off in entertainment, by being a graphic designer. And I've done everything from TV screens to big billboards on top of roofs. Like I've done everything that I could design wise. But I think painting is something that I don't think I've ever done.
I mean, it's just another medium. It's another tool. I'm sure that you could do it.
Oh, I know I can do it. That's not the question.
You know what it is? You need to be inspired.
Inspire, yeah.
You need to find an image that you're like, I want to recreate that my way, And that's really what all artists do, is they see something or somebody else's artwork, and they're like, they don't copy it
They
word
make
for
it their
word
own,
or
yeah.
line for line. They make it their own version,
I mean, I get that. Like, I think I was taking a tour of a gallery in Long Beach one day, and I was looking at these paintings, and I said, I want to do that. Like, I want to paint something that looks real, you know? And I took it as a challenge, and I painted something that looks real, and it was just like, whoa. And now that I did that, I'm like, all right, moving on. Now you can paint stuff that comes like, that's messy and not real. But that goal of wanting to see something that you could touch or see it like it looks like glass, or it looks like it's wet, or it looks, you know what I mean? Those elements. So I get that.
I think because I'm sitting here thinking about it, and what you just said, a word messy. I think I haven't done painting because I'm such a clean
it's
freak. Yeah, I don't want paint all over me.
No, not me. It gets real messy. There's paint everywhere.
No, I know.
Gloves.
It's in my hair.
Gloves. Yeah, in your hair. Yeah.
I've seen her. Like I said, at one of her events, and she has paint everywhere. But it looks good on you because your outfit, like
It's
your
part of
whole
the
style,
aesthetic.
it goes with it. Like that wouldn't look good on me.
I mean, this goes back to, teenage days. My friends were graffiti artists, and I'd be like, let me get down on that, And so for me, using the graffiti pens, letting it bleed, getting it all over my hands, it's part of the whole vibe. It's part of the feeling.
Right. No, and I love it. Like I love abstract art. Like that's my favorite. So I love. I don't know if I can do it.
I like the
gotta try it
shower
one day.
afterwards. I like getting messy, and then I like washing it all away, and I like pulling it out of my nails and getting the paint from under. I like, and then looking back at it while I'm clean, and I'm like, look at that. You got.
Where are you taking this show?
Well, Mike. No. Mike. No. But no, seriously, like I like to submerge myself in the art. I like to just feel like I'm a kid, like
Right.
playing with my mud pies when I was a kid. I just like it. Like
I think I
feels
can
great.
do that if I had a space. Like I think if I had like a studio,
Definitely.
and like what everything was like covered, and I then I can get messy and kind of just be creative because I do see myself doing that. But I couldn't do it like at my house or like in here. Like I don't want paint nowhere.
And that's the thing. I was thinking about that. Like out here in this community, we need an art space where people can just come, even if they rented like studios or whatever,
That'd be dope.
to paint freely, do whatever they needed to do in that
And
space
get
for
messy in that space,
an
huh?
hour or whatever. Yeah, because think about people who live in apartments. Think about people who
Yeah.
renting a room because right now times are hard.
Yeah.
They can't be
can't.
creative. Where are they going to do it?
So they have like the axe throwing out here. I know they have that out here, right, where you can throw the axe.
Yeah.
They also have, and I don't know if it's out here or Santa Clarita, where you can go into a space and you can break dishes, you can break stuff, like just to let they have like places for this.
Great outlets.
But that'd be a dope outlet for you to go in there and paint, even like to throw paint on the wall and just be creative. Like that'd be dope.
I think that'd be great.
I would love to do that.
And then you can take your piece home after.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be that hard, Mike. You just sheet up the space and then bring it down, like redo it.
I know.
Sheet up. That's
The overhead
All
would
right,
be.
so somebody's going to do it, right?
Well,
We're gonna
I
be
thought
like
I was
Dexter.
giving that for you, like.
No, see, I have these ideas, but I like to collaborate and like I don't want to be the only one. I like it to be a group effort.
Well,
so
let's
that we
do it.
can
I'll do it with you.
motivate other people.
I'll do it with you
I think
because
it's a
I'm a
great idea.
creative. I'm an artist at heart. So that's why.
I want to see what kind of arts that you do.
No?
I want to see what kind of art that you do.
Well, look behind you. I did that.
Well, I knew that.
I mean, I love creating.
I knew that.
But
I-
you're an artist too, though.
Yeah.
Like, even with like the perfume, because I know you like mix perfumes to make it your own.
Well, yeah,
That's
I
an
mean,
artist.
but no,
I'm
but
saying everything can be an art.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with that. Actually, when we don't go into perfumes, because perfumes is a whole nother genre for me. Perfumes are like, it's like it's emotional.
But I know,
It's
but that's like
emotional.
art to her.
Like it's emotional for me because they bring up different things in different people.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I noticed that like when I had my first kid, my sense of smell got like way out of proportion, like really, really bad. Like I could smell anything way down the street. So so perfumes are like a book, like a notebook. And how do I want to feel? You know what I mean? Like a vanilla is kind of like cool and inviting for anybody, but an orange might be a little bit more like
Spicy.
you know what I'm saying? Like a little
Tangy.
intense,
Well,
you know what I mean?
I think tangy when you say orange.
Well, like so when they do oranges never really have like an orange up, like it's like you think like an orange lemon up. It's more of an orange warm. They always caramelize it or do something with the orange. So it's okay. So
You getting all into it? No, but I love
no, really, because perfumes are really different. No, but actually, I'm a painter as well. I just don't expose a lot of it because all right, you probably found this out too. It's like the first time you went and asked somebody, hey, can I hang my painting or can I display my thing? And most people are very receptive to that. They're like, yeah, sure, of course, yeah, where you want to put it? Well, if that's a blank space, I would love to hang that there. So I did challenge myself with that, like on the boulevard. I had my artwork hanging in several buildings around here. But then I kind of stepped back because I didn't have the confidence, like you're talking about, to like put on a whole show. Like something in me was like, who's going to like it, you know? So I kind of fell back and started doing other outlets. But no, I have art all in my room, and I got all my paintings are sitting there, and paint are sitting there. So
I didn't know that. You never talk about that. I didn't even know that.
because like I have so many avenues of being able to be creative, you know, that's what you're talking about. So music is my art for right now, but I'm a little bit less apprehensive about my music or exposing myself to the music. But when it comes to art, man, yeah.
So artists are their worst critic.
Yeah.
You know? I know a lot of like tattoo artists and different types of artists out here and down below, and they all say that they suck. And I'm like, you know that like everyone in the world knows your name. You know you have like 50,000 followers. How do you think you're terrible?
Wow.
Well, I say this all the time. Like even with this show, I tell people like I did horrible. Even when I do karaoke, I'm horrible.
We are all our worst critics.
Yeah. I don't believe, like when people come up to me on the street and they say they listen to the show or whatever, they give me props, you know, I'd be amazed. I'd be like, oh shit, you actually listen to the show? Like, I honestly don't think anybody listens to this show, which I know is false, but in my mind, because I'm such a.
But that's okay, because that takes it back to that perspective of there's always room to grow.
Oh, 100%.
So anybody who's like, I'm the best at my craft. No.
Oh, no.
So being humble enough to be like, I can improve next show. I'm going to do this. Next show, I'm going to do that.
No,
or next art event.
That's
or
definitely me. And that's just because I just have a growth mindset. Mm-hmm. Like I'm always, like I'm better today than I was yesterday. Mm-hmm. And that's always my goal, is to be a better version of myself tomorrow than I was today.
Well, I'm kind of glad that we did this episode, because I'm starting to notice that I'm kind of going a little too hard in the paint, giving some artist reference, too hard in the paint with some of my creative outlets. And maybe it's time to go back the other way to the visual arts. The reason why is because the energy kind of changes. And like you're saying that you didn't know that people are watching your show or even paying attention to your output. That community, I like the community of the artists. Like particularly visual artists, they tend to be more, how do you say, like kind, sweet.
I think because as a visual artist, you have to have patience.
Generous, right?
Like you literally have to have patience. You have to let the paint dry, or you have to step back sometimes and like clear your vision and then go back to it again later. So we take that into life, and it becomes lessons again.
Now, you know what, whenever I do like any type of work for my clients, right, whether it's the logo, branding, or whatever, I always like, they get excited the moment I show it to them, right? They're like, oh my God, like I just did a branding image for a client the other day. She got so excited. And I said, hold on. I said, sleep on it. Take a day or two. Every morning that you wake up, look at it and see if you still feel the same way. Mm-hmm. If you feel the same way, then that's it. If you don't, we're going to keep working until you feel that way every day.
Okay. And
I do that with my own stuff. Like you said, I'll do something, but then I'll close my computer and then wait till the next day and look at it again. Because sometimes when this is just with me, it starts to look the same. I can make changes to it, but it all starts to look the same. So you have to take a break. And that's why I know earlier when you said you got to step away from painting, because you have to recharge. You have to take a break, because everything starts to look the same.
Or it starts to feel the same.
Yeah.
The emotions behind it. It gets stagnant.
Yeah.
It's interesting, y'all. Keep going, because you're inspiring me. Like, you're making me think about different thoughts and different processes. You know, how do you feel about seeing other artists?
I love seeing other artists. I get excited doing events with other people involved. I'm always supporting other people, buying their work, because their work inspires me. It's them, you know, their growth, and I'm like, how long have you been doing this? And they'll tell me their whole story, and I'm like, wow.
Have you ever felt envy, like something that you really, really want to do that somebody else does, and you're like, oh man, I want to do that?
I think that it's a natural human emotion to feel envy or jealous, but it's how you internalize that. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I personally take that jealousy, and I'm like, okay, you know, maybe there's something that they're doing to get to that level that I can emulate, you know. Not exactly be like them, but I can take from it. But I do know a lot of people that get envious. You
know, I don't even call it jealousy. Like, whenever I see something, even if I don't care what type of idea it is, like, and I was like this in television. I used to always had this idea, and then like 6 months or a year later, I'll see that same show, and I'm like, damn. But you know what? I don't get jealous. What goes through my mind is, I'm like, oh shit, I had a great idea. That means I'm on the right path. That means I'm thinking correctly, and I'm happy for that person. I'm mad that I didn't do it first, but I'm like, okay, I had a great fucking idea, but I know I can do more. I can come up with another idea, if that makes sense.
I mean, you have to tell yourself something because because you let that idea. Well, okay, I don't know where I learned this from, but it said that inspiration is movable. It's a transient thing, and it'll come to you, and then if you don't use it, it'll go to someone else. Yeah. And it's interesting that. So, yeah,
it's all vibration. If you really want to get deep down to it,
let's get deep down into it.
Energy and vibration.
But imagine that person who did embrace that thing, and then you see it, and you're like, man, I had that idea, or I made up that word or that statement, or no, it's not a good example, but I listen to a lot of Clubhouse. I don't know if you guys are in Clubhouse yet. Clubhouse is like, you know what it is, right?
I know what Clubhouse. I stay away from it though.
Do you? Okay, so Clubhouse can be evil, and it can be used for good. It can be very nefarious.
Yeah, that's true.
So it depends on who you're joining and what are they talking about. So they got the audiobook group, and they're great because they'll just play audiobooks all day long, inspiring you, and then you're getting work done while you're listening, and you're like, oh, great. But if you hear some of the ideas in there, you got to jot those things down because they're gems. I'll be like, oh, let me screenshot that. Oh, let me record that. Let me put that in my notes. Because you got to use these ideas or lose them.
See, so people learn things 3 ways, right? They learn by seeing, hearing, and doing, or like writing it down. So that's a great way to grow and develop, is if you hear it and now you're like, okay, I'm going to write it down. You'll actually remember it later.
I use those notes. I'll pull them up. And actually, iPhone, I was against iPhones. I was against...
You was against iPhones?
Yeah, I like Apple products. Don't get me wrong, but I was against iPhones. I felt like they were intrusive. They wanted to see my face to unlock them, and it was like really painful. But the great thing is they're very, very great at taking notes. You could just press a button and tell it, record this note, record this reminder, remind myself to go ahead and grab blah, blah, blah. And I love it. I love it. It's been keeping me on point, way more precise. What you looking at, Mike?
Because I know I'm looking for this, oh my God, this phrase, because we're talking about energy and like, what is energy? You know, what do they say about energy? It's never lost, or
it doesn't dissipate. It just moves.
It moves. It's transferred. But there's a saying that goes along with it, and I have it because I was writing a book, and
You're writing a book?
Yeah, I'm writing 2 books right now.
Oh, okay.
About energy and. One's about energy, and one's about my life and experiences.
Oh, okay.
About energy and mindset. Why you act surprised?
I didn't know you were writing a book.
a lot of people don't know because I don't talk about it a lot. Because I'm not a writer, but it's something that I am enjoying. I've written a TV episode before, and my executive actually told me, he's like, "Oh wow, you actually write pretty good." But it took me a long time to do it, like because I don't consider myself as a writer, like because I know a lot of writers, and like I'm not far from a writer, but it is something that I actually wanted to do. It was something on like my bucket list. Like I think I've done everything on my bucket list.
What was hard about it? Was it the format that was making it difficult to write?
No, because I really get writer's block, and it's so time consuming to sit there and you're staring at a blank page and like nothing's coming out. You have all this stuff in your head, but nothing's coming out. So I actually started writing a journal too, and that's what's taking me so long. Like I've been working on this book for like 2 years now. So I started writing a journal because my niece wrote a book about traveling, and she gave me some tips. She was like, you know what, just start writing down like a journal. And she said, once you have like all that, then you start putting it in the book format.
Okay.
And telling your story. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm just writing. Like if I have something in my head, I'm just writing it down. Like I got a ton of notes in this thing where it's just thoughts.
I like the idea.
No, yeah, but now you gotta go back and rearrange it all. Like it's a process. I mean, I'm enjoying it, but there's times where I've taken like I don't think I've written in this journal for like maybe a month and a half now.
Because you took a break.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
Clubhouse will have an accountability session. It's like no talking. You just got 50 minutes of writing accountability, and it's just silent, but everybody's writing. So things like that, I like those tools.
But my niece, she told me that if you really want to write a book, and I haven't conquered this tip yet, but she said when you want to write a book, she said you got to dedicate like a certain amount of time a day. So it's like for her, she said she dedicated an hour a day. She didn't care if she just sat there and looked at a blank page for an hour, but you just have to be consistent with it. And it's like anything, being consistent.
Goes to the painting as well, or any form of art.
Yeah.
You have to have a consistent set of maybe once a week or whatever it is. Consistency is the key ingredient to any recipe.
Yeah. And she said some days she just sat there for an hour and she didn't get out one word. But the consistency kept her going. And then some days she said she was just writing, and all of a sudden it was like 2-3 hours. But it was that consistency. She dedicated an hour a day. And I haven't dedicated to that. Like, I'm actually reading, because that's helping me. Mm-hmm. So I read every night for 15 minutes.
Okay.
So that helps me.
What are you reading right now?
The 4 Agreements.
Oh, nice. It's time for me to reread that again.
I know.
And Still Like an Artist. I need to reread that one. Have you ever read that one?
No.
It looks like a cartoonish book.
It's like The Alchemist.
Yeah.
Like, I read The Alchemist 5 times already. I love that book.
Yeah. You got to look at Still Like an Artist.
Okay.
It gives you permission, even though you already have the permission because you seem very confident. But whenever you feel like you might be, falling back, it'll kind of bring you back to that.
I think that we all have that in us. Everybody has their moments when they're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should not do this anymore, And then you got to remind yourself of your reason why.
Mm-hmm. So what's your reason why?
My reason why?
Yeah, one of them. I know you got a bunch of them.
I'd say my reason why is my kids, which I know every mom says that, but they motivate me to just keep on doing what I'm doing. And my key thing with them is a happy mom is a good mom. So if I'm not doing what fulfills me and what leads me to have a happy, healthy, loved life, then I'm not being a good mom.
Now, does that come from, to even go way back and deeper, did that come from your dad?
So I was married for 10 years.
Okay.
And I got married at 18. So don't do that.
Don't do that.
But during the 10 years that I was married, I will always love my kid's dad, but we just were on different pages. And I, for a long time, realized that I wasn't happy, healthy, loved. I wasn't living by my own goals that I tell other people, my own standards. So, I chose a different path. I chose to be selfish a little bit so that I could fulfill the happy, healthy, loved mindset. And I have to live by that now, right? Mm-hmm. So
that's kind of similar to my story. Like, I was married twice, actually. My first wife, though, that I had my kids with, I was married. Me and her got together when she was 18, I was 19, and we was married for 24, 25 years, and we just kind of grew apart. Mm-hmm. But I knew at that time, like I tell everybody, and I'm open about it, that I chose to leave the relationship because I knew me staying there wasn't healthy for any of us. So I needed to go and kind of find myself and live my true path. And I did that. And me and her are great friends to today. And it helped us. Even though I do look back at it and be like, dang, I want to be with my family. I love her. She's family to me regardless. And I think it made us all stronger. And I'm grateful for that. But I get that. Sometimes you do have to leave a situation to make yourself better and to grow.
Oh yeah, there was nothing wrong with the situation either. Right. We were best friends since we were teenagers, Mm-hmm. But I think we were doing what we thought was expected of us, or at least I was. From
society's point of view.
Corey and Topanga type deal.
Oh yeah.
And I realized, wait, I'm not Topanga. I'm Nickiey. And I lost my identity in that. Mm-hmm. So I had to find myself again and, create the story that I had already started before I got married.
Right.
I want to ask you about old things.
Okay.
Have you ever looked at some work that you've done from the past and criticized yourself because you were like, oh my God, look how far I've come. That is hideous. I would never, even though I know you talked about acceptance, but do you ever find that that's cringe.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
they call it.
Definitely. But you know what? I still have those pieces on my wall. Because, again, it's like the motivation. You know, my kids will be like, oh, I remember when you did that. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
I look at some old pieces and like they got dust on them, and I kind of keep them around, but I'm just like, you. Like I start judging myself a little bit when it comes to those pieces, you know, but I won't throw them away. So.
You know what, though? You can always, like, work on them again and make them better.
You know what? Maybe that's what I'm thinking too, because I do see the workability. You know what I mean? And their canvas.
Yeah.
You can't throw away
So,
canvas.
you know, it's like taking a piece of you from the past and being like, okay, let's bring it out of the closet. Let's take it to the gym a little bit.
Speaking, you know, those ideas we were talking about that passed by. Okay, I did a painting of Questlove, you know,
Okay.
and at the time I was like really in the house with
You know,
my kids.
we got to see this now, right?
Shoot, we got to pull it out. So, but it was like in 3D, and I had his beard come out and be like gessoed out, and like you know formed his face and everything like that. And then, you know, I'm watching on YouTube and Facebook, and I see the ladies are doing what I did, and sometimes I'm just like, those are one of those things that I'm like, see, like you were too nervous to show it, like you were too, even like I don't know if the word is shame. It's weird. It's like but now I see other people doing those third-dimensional pieces. Like they might even have like a braid that'll come out of the painting, and the ladies will braid it. And I was just like, you were doing that, like, oh gosh. So
If you would have just stuck on that path,
well,
just a little bit.
again, if you don't use the idea, it's gonna go to someone else. You know what I mean?
Well, so I'm glad you just brought that up because, and I'm anal about this. And whenever something's in my mind and I can't find it, I got to do it until I find it. So I found it. So it was Isaac Newton's the first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It is simply transferred to one party to another. That's the law.
So that goes back to like the flower of life. You guys know about sacred geometry and all that, how energy just keeps going, and we're all connected in some way.
Right. It's the law of attraction. We all can through vibration. We're all connected in some way through energy.
Isaac Newton.
You have to. You know what? You have to start listening to Abraham Hicks. Abraham Hicks theories. She is incredible. I'm a big fan of hers. I don't know if you know what that is. No? Oh my God, yeah, YouTube Abraham Hicks theories. She does all these great videos about law of attraction. Like, you know, there's 12 laws of the universe. I actually just posted them all. Yesterday, I posted the 12th law.
I did see some.
There's 12 laws of the universe, and if you understand those 12 laws, you can pretty much understand vibration, law of attraction, and how this world actually works.
That's awesome. That's like how we manifest things
Exactly.
into existence.
I need you to create like a little text chain, and so whenever you get these new information, just send it to us so we can so we can get these things.
No, if it's 100% what Nickiey. I'm confused on your name.
Either one.
I know. Do I call her Nickiey? Do I call her Nicole? Nickiey, what she was saying earlier on the show, it's what you consume. Every day, my mindset is I listen to these 4 gospel music songs every day, not music, but songs every morning. I listen to at least 2 Abraham Hicks videos while I'm in the shower. And after that, while I'm getting dressed, I throw on something positive, whether it's another video or some type of meditation music. Like that's every morning. That's part of my morning routine. I don't listen to hip hop in the morning. I don't listen and I love hip hop because I'm from hip hop. I've got a hip hop background, but my morning routine consists of positive stuff because I have to feed my brain about that, and that's how I go throughout the day.
Okay, so
and that's why I post all that stuff in the morning. Like I get up at 5:30 in the morning every morning. So if you up at 5:30 in the morning and you follow me on Instagram, you will see I'm constantly posting something positive, something about the universe, something about anything. Like especially if I can get up at, and I try to catch this every morning, the angel number is 555. I always take a picture of that. Like I was just noticing like a few minutes ago, the angel number 1111 was on here, but we was doing the show. I was going to snap it.
I'm 222 and 333s. They're happening to me constantly.
Yeah, 222s for sure. And the 1111, which is today.
Exactly. Oh, that's right. And that's why Soulistic thing starts at 11:11.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's just keeping all that, mindset, because we have to reprogram our mind from what society has taught us.
Now just imagine you do this consistently.
Consistently.
Right? Consistency is the key, right?
Yeah, actually.
Now just imagine there's one person who's all of a sudden you're in their algorithm and they start seeing this and they change their mindset because of your consistency. There's that energy transfer. There's that chain of events. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I go to these events, and sometimes I don't even charge them. I'm just like, just let me paint and I'll just give it away. I give away a lot of art.
No, that's great.
Because imagine if it just inspired one person. One person, that's all I need.
Last week I did a show, and when Diana was here, and I had another Diana here, and she was asking me and Diana from Eventually Event, she said, when we first did the podcast in season 1, she said, at what point did you guys celebrate? And me and her, we kind of looked at each other and we was like, man, we never did. And the other Diana was like, why? And it was like, because it's not about us. Like, why are we celebrating? Like, it's about you. Like, today, you're our guest. Like, this show is solely about you and, you giving your energy, so it was never about us. So I was like, why am I celebrating?
Did you get the answer to that? Are you? Is that what the answer that are you okay with not celebrating it?
Yeah, because it's not about me. I don't get paid for this. Like, I do this because I'm giving back to the community, because I want to tell people stories like Nickiey, like your story. I want to tell people stories. Like yesterday when I did the veteran, Jimmy, I told his story. Like, I want people to hear everybody's story, because everybody has a great story, and I'm hoping, and these podcasts are timeless. It doesn't matter, like, if I put your thing out tomorrow, right? Somebody 5 years from now can listen to it, and they might get inspired by what she's saying today.
Definitely.
Like,
that's what we call that evergreen content.
Exactly, and
that's
why I do it.
He taught me about evergreen content. Like, what we're making now, anybody can listen to it anywhere in the future, and they might just hear a phrase,
exactly,
or an idea might come to their mind.
I like the evergreen content. That's
why I do this. I actually got that in my notes here. You never know what word, story, or just someone giving someone a thought could do to change their lives.
May I also challenge you to celebrate your wins? Because even though you may not see it as that, maybe on an interval, for example, like you just did season 1, maybe just having some type of, celebratory or ritual type of a thing, because it's a big deal, Mike. No, okay, so I do. So for instance, a few weeks ago, and I told this story a couple of days ago, I was at Don Sal's with Andreas over at Rio. Shout out to Andreas. And we was having dinner. And Brenda from Little Poppy Shop, she walked by a table. And mind you, I've never met her till that day. She walked by the table and she looked at me. She was like, one day you're going to interview me. I didn't know who she was at the time. I think I've seen her in passing, but because she walked by me and said that, I had no idea who this lady was. And then she said something to Andreas, because, obviously she knows him. And then he looked at me and I was like, oh, wow, people actually, I actually say this, not because I say it all the time. I was like, wow, people actually watch the show. And then I got to talking to her. Like, I visited her shop like 2 days after that. And she's actually going to be on the show in 2 weeks. Nice. Because, and when she said that, I went home, and on my way home, as I was thinking about it, I was grateful, and I was thanking God, like, wow, thank you. Like, I appreciate those moments, because obviously I did something for her to say that. I touched her in some way, like my show touched her in some way. That's awesome. So I'm grateful for that. Like, I don't celebrate me, oh yeah, I got a dope show, but no, like, I celebrate those moments because I touched somebody. That's being humble. Right. Yeah. My daughter said to me the other day, she said, Mom, what would it be like if humans were never here on the planet Earth, right? And I said to her, that doesn't make sense. She was like, well, yeah, but the Earth would be better without us. I said, well, if you really look around, you would see that we have a symbiotic relationship with the Earth. The Earth needs us the way we need Earth. These trees push out carbon dioxide. And push out oxygen, and we give it carbon dioxide. So trees wouldn't be able to thrive, and certain green elements. And I said, just like you see one animal consume another animal for its to survive, imagine if the earth was overpopulated with certain types of creatures. The ocean would be overpopulated. Certain things would happen. So I said, we have a symbiotic. And she looked at me like, what? But I was like, no, being a human, being here on this earth is not a bad thing. Right. It's you know what I mean? It's care. It's we're part of each other, you know?
Right, yeah.
All things with balance.
With balance, right. Mm-hmm. Right.
So let's talk about, well, I got a couple more things I want to talk to you about. One, your DJing, like music. So how is music and your DJing different from your art?
I don't really DJ for other people. Mm-hmm. I really DJ for myself. It's
one of those things.
Another meditational thing.
Right.
So I would say that came from a previous relationship. He DJs and he showed me just kind of the way of starting off. But it really, I got involved in this whole community of other DJs, and everybody was like, oh, here's some music, here's some tips. And I love it. Like, music is painting for my ears. When I hear songs, I'll be like, oh, it brings you back to a memory or a moment or an emotion. So again, music is definitely an art. Or if I hear a song and I'll be like, oh, that would go really good next to this one.
Right. I know that feeling.
Yeah, right? I mean, I say that they could like marry each other because they're just
I feel
compatible.
like they should marry each other. Mm-hmm. And don't you feel like really powerful when you're able to find that one thing that really,
especially when they're from different genres.
Yes.
I love.
I'll take like some Sade and I'll like put it next to some like house music, and they're like, wait, what is that? I'm like,
yeah.
So a lot of people do that on TikTok nowadays. And what's it called? Something mix.
Mixing.
Yeah, but it's a name for it.
Remixing.
No, it's not remixing. I can't forget.
I don't know.
But it's a name for it that they call now, and a lot of people like how they did the Michael Jackson and the was it Paul McCartney?
Well, look at Michael Jackson and Justin Timberlake when they did that one after he had passed away. What's the name? Like you hold me, and he's already gone. And when he blended, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's like so beautiful. They just melded into each other. So yeah, you could definitely bring all that.
So you only do it for yourself?
For myself and my cat.
And your cat.
No, I'm just kidding. For myself and my friends, at their houses, we have little barbecues, and they're all DJs. Okay. So again, we all just kind of vibe, and it's a whole experience listening to everybody. Everyone else has their flavor. I say that even as artists, visual, whatever, everyone has their own flavor.
Absolutely.
And I like,
Well, I mean, so you don't put any of this stuff out there?
Every now and then I join in on their Twitches. When they have, their stuff live, I'll be like, oh, here's Nickiey.
Here's Nickiey.
And it's fun. It's awesome, getting in on there and, sharing it with the world. But really, I play for myself. And same thing with my art. I paint for myself. And if somebody appreciates it, it's like, oh, yeah, that's kind of cool.
And, and just talking about, just going back to what you were just saying about flavor, right? Because so we always talk about on the show about community over competition, right? One, there's enough for everybody, right? But Diane and I used to always talk about no one should ever get mad. Like if you're an artist or a DJ or whatever it is you do and someone else does it, right? Because everybody actually does have their own flavor. Mm-hmm. That's why it's a lot of restaurants, a lot of bars, a lot of different books, a lot of different type of movies. Like because everybody has their own flavor, so it's enough for everybody. Because you're not gonna eat at McDonald's every night for the rest of your life. No. Like you're gonna need Taco Bell, you're gonna need Panda, you're gonna need all this other stuff, right? So everybody does have this flavor. You can make the same hamburger, but like both of you guys can make the same hamburger, but you're gonna obviously do it different because you have a different taste buds and different flavor. So it's gonna be two different burgers.
Yeah. Like I'm throwing some avocado on mine. Why are you making me hungry, Mike?
Because we're going to the Soulistic after this.
Man. Burgers. I was like, I started picturing.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's end this with your community. What you love about the community? Because where I met you at the AV Hispanic Chamber, was it a luncheon or was a mixer?
A white party.
The white mixer, yeah. That's where I met you, and I've seen you at a couple of mixers and luncheons. So you're very, very into the community.
Yeah. So when I'm at the chamber events, I'm there with AV Restaurant Supply. That's my day job. Right. But you know, we help a lot of people in the community and to start their own businesses. And that like makes me feel so wholesome. And that part is the most rewarding thing about what I do. You know, you got to have a lot of different avenues of hustle in life. And as long as it's fulfilling, then it doesn't really matter how much, you know, you're taking home at the end of the day, because you see these people that you've helped. You see these people who even just had a conversation flourishing. And it's like, I don't know. I take so much pride in watching other people succeed because they're part of my community.
Right.
I like living out here because of that.
Yeah, that sets Antelope Valley apart from down below, for sure. Yeah. The food community, the art community, everyone out here supports one another. You know, if you drive over to Quartz Hill and you see the food trucks parked next to each other, you'll see 2 taco trucks right next to each other. Yeah. But again, they both have their own flavor. They both support each other. And I hope that, like, you know, other people feel that way about me or any of my other colleagues, that we're all here to just motivate each other.
So what, because you made a good point right now, like that is one of the reasons that sets Antelope Valley apart from all the other cities, right? But the Antelope Valley has such a bad rep, right? And that's something we're trying to change, especially like with the chamber. Like we're trying to change that. What do you think, because you're involved in a lot of community stuff, what do you think we should be doing to like get us on the maps, or say, to even change that misconception?
I think, personally, allow that misconception. In my opinion, let other cities or towns think whatever they want, because we know who we are. The Antelope Valley, the people here, we know that we support one another. And then that maybe if they come visit, they'll be like, oh, it's not so bad, you know? As long as we are supporting each other, we're cleaning up our streets, we're out there letting people know about the resources available to them, then that's all that really matters.
And you know, and you're right about that, because everybody that I've spoken with that actually came out here that had that misconception, they always be like, oh, I actually had a great time. Like, it's not that bad out here. Like, and I tell people all the time, I was like, okay, yeah, we have like all this bad stuff, but that's in every city. I don't know why people like to highlight Antelope Valley.
And when I go to Chicago, or when I go to you know, different areas, that people have been like, oh, it's so dangerous, don't go to Chicago. And I'm like, you know, that's my favorite city.
I like Chicago.
I know we talked about
Chicago.
that before. You love Chicago.
Yeah, because, you know, it's so diverse, and each little community out there, like, again, just like us, supports one another. You know, you have just little pockets, and the food is great, and everybody's out there having fun. I would love to see Antelope Valley be like that, you know, just blended together and become like this melting pot of diversity.
I would love to see that too.
I think it's happening. I think it's happening organically.
I'm watching it happen. Yeah. I've been here, you know, since my kids were really little, and I'm watching it happen. It's a great evolution.
Yeah. I don't see the bad as much as people talk about it. And I'm glad, because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be involved in the negativity, but man, I do see way more positivity than negative.
Right.
Period. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And, you know, with Chamber, because I'm a part of the Hispanic Chamber, one of the directors, and our hashtag is Join the Change. And we are really big on that right now. Yep. Like, we are really trying to change people's mindset, and we're out there doing the things to actually make a difference.
What are you working on right now that you want us to know? You got something in the pipeline?
Yeah, the installation gala, March 3rd. Did I say that right? Installation gala.
Oh, nice.
March 3rd. So
where's it going to be at?
Now. At the Solomon. What's that Solomon? You know what I'm talking about?
I do, but I'm really bad.
I don't know. They're going to kill me right now. It's called the Solomon something. It starts with an A. I can't pronounce it. So everybody know I'm bad with names. So it's at the Solomon place.
You'll put that at the bottom.
It's the Solomon place. But if you go to our Chamber of Commerce and look at the...
There we go.
March 3rd.
Nice.
Installation gala. So get your tickets now. It's going to be a big event.
I like it. So it's Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland
theme, yes. Last year's event was incredible, actually, and this year's event is going to be epic. Last year's event was sold out, and like even we was told the executives over at like Northup and all that, they went and they said they never been to a gala like that before. So this year, Diana and Andreas is the chair, and they're organizing the event because they both do events for a living. This one with the Alice in Wonderland theme is going to be incredible.
Black tie?
Black tie, yeah.
So as fun as these events are to go to, I just love what the different chambers out here do.
Yeah.
Going back to like the community, because they do a lot of fundraisers. They do a lot of giving back, even if it's the AV chamber, Hispanic chamber, Quartz Hill. And that's why I go to all these events. That's why I enjoy being part of the chambers. Just how much they really do give back to the community.
No, absolutely.
Is there anything that you want to promote? Because I know we're going into holiday season right now, and any events, any toy drives, anything like that.
So I'm doing a jacket and toiletries drive at AV Restaurant Supply. Anybody can come and drop off stuff between now and mid-December. And all the jackets and toiletries are going to LAHSA, LAHSA, to help, warm up, some of our homeless community, but also to give them some information on resources that are available to them. Maybe some of them don't know that they can get help, and maybe at some point they'll be like, you remember, that lady that gave me that jacket? She also gave me a card. Maybe I should call her, It's getting too cold out here. You never know.
Right. No,
Where can we bring our jackets to one more time?
So it's a AV Restaurant Supply. We're at 825 West Avenue, L8 in Unit F, right here in Lancaster.
Okay, cool.
So other than that, like, what's the next big thing for Nickiey?
The next big thing for Nickiey?
Yes.
So usually I travel during November and December, and I get inspired by my travel. So I'll be going to New Orleans in a couple weeks here, and hopefully getting some really great art inspiration from the museums that are out there.
I was raised there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, I mean, adventure is a huge part of being an artist, So I travel and I'll go to museums. I'll, eat what the locals eat, ride the bus, do everything that a not tourist would do. And I get so much inspiration from that.
They're really kind people and welcoming and inviting. Like, I like it.
Well, I've never been. I've always wanted to go. My ex-wife is from there, and I've never had the opportunity to go.
They thrive on tourism, but particularly, like, I got a chance to go to Puerto Rico, 2 weeks ago, and I would say that New Orleans sets the bar to me with how welcoming they are, really, as a people, and the food, and it's just the ambiance. It's just,
And then, I'll be there for the holidays, so that's awesome.
Oh, so you gonna spend the holidays there?
Well, the beginning of December. I got to come back for, the parade, for the chamber and all that stuff. My kids are always in the parade, so.
Okay, yeah. We're doing we're gonna be on the parade too.
oh yeah, okay, cool.
Mrs. Claus might be there.
Oh yeah, she was at the social that we was just at I forgot the name of it. Oh my God, I'm bad with names.
It was a Halloween mixer.
Yes, thank you, Nickiey. It was a Halloween mixer.
1 year, me and my daughter were her elves. This was the year of COVID, actually. She needed to do Mrs. Claus for a mommy group, and she was like, I don't know how I'm going to coordinate because these kids have to wear their masks, and we got to keep them apart. And I'm like, all right, me and Sophie will come. We'll dress as elves. We'll be totally believable, I promise. And these kids believed we were elves.
Wow.
I could see that. I mean, you need the little ear tips.
Yeah, I just put the ear
Right.
tips. I went to Goodwill, and they actually had elf-looking clothes.
Okay, you got lucky on that one.
I know. I'm really lucky when
So
it comes to thrift stores.
Are you gonna dress up for the parade?
Oh, well, I'm not in it. My daughters do ballet. They go to Just Dance here in Lancaster. So they'll be walking through the parade dancing.
Oh, okay. Nice. Are you dressing up for the parade?
I didn't even know I was going to the parade. Like, my kids are aging out, so I'm kind of I'm going to a different level right now.
Isn't it December 3rd?
The one for the one in Palmdale is on December 10th.
10th. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
December
okay.
10th.
December 10th.
I think it
It's on
starts Avenue S.
Yeah, Avenue S. Yeah.
If they want to do it, I'm down with it. But they're getting older. They're like,
But you can still just go.
And then in the evening, we have Magical Boulevard that same day in the evening here.
okay, I'm down with
yeah.
that. I'm down with
So it's a whole day of holiday
Oh
stuff
yeah.
to get in the spirit.
Yeah, because Raina, we're a fusion movement. She's doing a big flash mob thing, I think.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, so that's gonna be dope. I can't wait to see that.
That'd be nice.
Cool. Well, we out of here, you guys. So, Nickiey, where can they find you and where can they find your art?
So you can find me on Instagram at art_by_just Nickiey, but it's Nickiey.
I love it.
And yeah, definitely reach out if you see something you like, or if you have any ideas. I'm always down to do a commission piece.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We truly appreciate it. Truly appreciate you, giving back to the community and just your energy that you bring to the community.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And what you getting into tonight besides going to the Solistic after this?
Well, tonight, at Madrano's, we start at 7. We go to 10:30 night, and after that, they're gonna have a live DJ. So
Nice.
I'll be doing some karaoke.
And then sing. Are you dancing afterwards?
I think I'm gonna hang out tonight. I think I'm gonna hang out over there tonight, or maybe that Las Originales. I always say it wrong.
Oh, Las Originales.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
Yeah.
I like that place.
I saw it last week on, and it looks pretty interesting. I might.
He got
check
new
it out.
lights in there now, so it's a real
That's what I
vibe in
saw.
there. Yeah.
That's what I saw.
Yeah, he just updated it. I don't know where I'm gonna end up tonight. I think I'm gonna be honestly. I'm starting my night off at Zelda's. I know that for a fact because I got a dinner to go to. But after that, I don't know. So you're gonna find me somewhere.
Find me
I'm not sure.
somewhere.
Find me somewhere. Anyways, we out here, you guys. Thank you guys again. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.